Know that one? No.
These are oldies.
Oldies but goodies. Those oldies but goodies remind me of you. It's another song.
Getting started.
90% of my head is filled with lyrics from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
What's the other 10%?
Thinking of all of you. Okay, thank you, everybody. And today, of course, Senate Republicans had the chance to vote to protect a key personal liberty, access to contraception. Senator Markey's bill is simple, but it's becoming necessary ever since the MAGA Supreme Court and Donald Trump overturned Roe and jeopardized reproductive rights for millions and millions of Americans. Today, thanks to these brutal and downright medieval attacks, tens of millions of Americans have to worry about something as basic as birth control. Make no mistake, Americans' uncertainty about using birth control is one of the many shameful consequences of overturning Roe v. Wade. So for those Republicans who voted no today, claiming that contraception isn't being threatened and is safe, I have two questions for you. What about the influx of efforts all across the country trying to make it more difficult to access contraception? And also, after years and years of being told that Roe would be protected, is this a gamble any of us should be willing to take? So make one thing clear. Today was not a show vote. This was a show us who you are vote. And Senate Republicans showed the American people exactly who they are. They showed that they're not willing to stand up and protect something that 92% of Americans support. The Right to Contraception Act simply says, if you want to access birth control, or if you're a health care provider wanting to prescribe birth control, the government has no right to interfere. Doesn't that seem like common sense? So to Senate Republicans who argue federal protections for birth control are unnecessary, go ask the people of Virginia what they think after their Republican governor vetoed a bill that would have protected contraceptives at the state level. Go ask the people of Nevada what they think after their Republican governor also vetoed a bill to protect access to birth control. And to those who say birth control will never fall at risk, go ask the people of Arizona, or of Florida, or of Idaho, or of Iowa, or of Missouri. In each of these states, Republican governors or Republican state legislators are on record blocking protections for birth control access in some form or another. We are kidding ourselves if we think the hard right is satisfied with simply overturning Roe. Remember, people said before Dobbs that Roe would never be overturned. And of course, unfortunately, it was the MAGA right-wing court appointed by Donald Trump and our Republican colleagues here in the Senate that made sure that happened, the overturn of Dobbs. It's utterly unacceptable for Americans to even question whether or not birth control should fall at risk. So I want to assure the American people, we Democrats will not stop. We will keep fighting. We will not rest until vital protections like those outlined in the Right to Conception Act are enshrined into law. And that's why just a few minutes ago, I filed cloture on the IVF bill. So next week, Americans can once again see where Republicans stand on the so very important issue of the right to reproductive rights. I yield to the great senator from, who's senior? We both were elected the same year.
Go ahead, Debbie.
Go ahead, Debbie. I yield to go ahead, Debbie.
I think technically Maria had longer to count to win, so I think by 2 weeks I'm ahead of her.